Am I more than you bargained for, ghoul? Been 200 years since the bombs all blew.
Welcome to Fallout Boys, the officially unofficial podcast for Fallout on Amazon Prime. I'm Jim.
I'm A.Ron.
A.Ron, did you see this week that, I sure hope you did, otherwise this podcast could be real short, that Amazon released a trailer for Season 2 of Fallout?
Jim, are you suffering from radiation sickness? Because we just discussed this 5 minutes ago and said we should do a special emergency episode where we can discuss the trailer.
You gotta get on board with the kayfabe here, man. I'm trying to do a thing. I'm not.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were huffing ghoul gas.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, excited. We're just, 4 weeks away?
Yeah, it's coming up fast.
Yeah, it comes out December 17th. That's like exactly 4 weeks away.
Oh, yeah.
And lots of exciting stuff about this trailer. Again, we thought it would be a good idea to just hustle up and get something out here. This is all going to be spoilers, obviously, because, we still have a couple big reveals in episodes 7 and 8 that we haven't gone over. The first timers, obviously, trailer is going to spoil the fates of characters, give you some ideas of where the plot's going. So, yeah, if you are a first timer through the shithole wasteland, I would recommend passing this settlement by and keep walking until you get to episode 7. It's the one that says Red Rocket over the building. Okay,
and then come back to this when you're ready. Once you've seen the finale, come back and listen to this.
Get all caught up, get all excited. Jim, where do we want to start?
I don't know, maybe some of the fun stuff. One of the big things I noted is where the characters are eventually or at times during this. Lucy specifically says, "Oh, this is Vegas, huh?" Which, if you're a Fallout fan, there's an entire game called Fallout New Vegas that everybody seems to think is... I think a lot of people say it's the best game. I don't know. I've never played any of these, but a lot of people love this game in particular. It's
hard to find a consensus because every time I've tried to wade in, it's one of those things where it's like, it's so subjective that and I'm not a big enough part of the community to have my finger at, but yeah, New Vegas, I think it's a lot of love.
So that's exciting. I imagine there's going to be a lot of shout outs to the game, in that particular game, in those sequences. And I assume Lucy's tracking Hank there. Yeah, I mean, that's her whole mission in season 2, obviously.
And we see him at the end of season 1. That was like the big kind of teaser, as he's standing there in his power suit and he's looking over New Vegas. So, yeah, he's definitely running there for some unknown reason, and Lucy's following. I loved the rockabilly ghouls. The Elvis ghouls.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. They're also forming a super group of unlikely allies. At one point, you see Thaddeus, who is further. I'm not even sure if it's safe to call him a ghoul. That mouth shoulder doesn't look very ghoulish to me. But him and the ghoul and Maximus and Dogmeat and probably a character or two we haven't met yet look like they were all ganged together to lead. There's a scene of them doing the slow march into the camera with a lot of civilians of assuming New Vegas behind them.
Yeah, what does this say about... look, I'm assuming that's Maximus in that power armor. That's
true.
Really interesting, because there's also some hints that the ghoul is directly teaming up with the Brotherhood. They talk about a war coming, and he's implied to be teaming up with them for whatever reason. Probably, Moldover stuff. But
yeah,
I assume that's Max in that suit, which says to me that he kind of gets through the next trial okay, even though we end on him kind of not betraying the Brotherhood, but he has very mixed feelings on everything, and they should have pretty mixed feelings on him too. Well,
and they show him spending a lot of time at the base, and it doesn't look like he's being bullied or anything.
I wonder how he's going to spin out of that.
I wonder if we're being taken for a ride here, because it'd make a lot of sense if that was Hank's voice that we heard mechanically, trying to make a desperate deal with Cooper.
Sure. And he's in the
they
suit.
could just and they could just make us be thinking that it's going to be the Ghoul and because the Brotherhood teaming up with the Ghoul, man, that from what I know of Fallout, which is essentially a little bit of wiki reading, some meme lore, and watching all of season 1, I don't think they truck with the mutants.
Not at all. I mean, you look at what like Thaddeus's reaction when he understands that he's a Ghoul for the first time. He's like, I can't go back.
Completely 180s.
Yeah. And runs off, gives the head over to Maximus and then runs away. So, yeah, I think it's more likely, you got a good point there, that is probably Hank in that suit, not Maximus.
Or another Brotherhood representative. I also think it's interesting how Lucy continues to have a good impression on the Wastelanders, the Topsiders, because, the Ghoul kind of like cynically asked her what she's going to do about her daddy. And she's like, I'm going to bring in the justice. Like, people need to know that how they act matters. And then you see another Wastelander challenging the Ghoul with legend has you used to share our ideals, which shows more Cooper flashbacks. Which I'm excited for.
They leave this in an interesting state with Moldaver that I really want to know more, like the continuing story of Cooper before the fallout.
Yeah, I'm plus it's like, you see him hugging his daughter, you see and this is all over the Ghoul explaining, because he never really articulated this in Fallout season 1. I think we surmised it, but like the fact that I've stayed alive these 200 years to find my family. My only question is, to what end? Does he want to bring Barb to justice? Does he want to see his daughter again? And the other follow-up question is, why does he think that they might still be alive? Does he know a lot more about this Vault 31 business than maybe we would have suspected from the first season?
I think so. I mean, he, his wife has told him about like the good vaults versus the just okay or underclass vaults. So he's probably assuming, oh yeah, she's frozen in time. He probably knows a lot more about this than we even do at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to figuring all that out. But you're right. Like, what purpose does he want to find and protect and be reunited with his daughter, or just to kill his wife or whatever? Because
it does make me think, with what's going on with Vault 31, 32, and all 33 and all that. I wonder if Betty isn't Cooper's daughter. I don't believe it's his wife, just because they don't look that much alike.
No.
But if you look at Cooper's daughter, I mean, I could see the hair, if it was cut in an old lady fashion and kind of just put up instead of smashed underneath a cowboy hat. I could see that.
That's an interesting idea. Yeah. How did she get so old? How did she?
It's been 200 years.
Is her mother
defrost
dead?
Cycles.
Maybe she's being
too.
Defrosted every so often.
Yeah.
It's much less likely, because they look nothing alike, in my opinion. But
and then you can't. And then I guess well, you can't have Cooper looking exactly like Cooper, but I guess he's a Ghoul. But I imagine she's gotten older just because she's gone through a bunch of refresh cycles, and I wonder if they're trying to do something about like how you're raised, because Lucy, who's a very good person, is raised by Hank, which seems like he's an amoral sociopath the more we've gotten to understand him. And I wonder if they're doing something similar with like Barb and in the bunker, the good bunker, raising Janie and her turning out bad, her adopting those beliefs uncritically.
Maybe.
So it's like there's a little bit of contrast there.
Yeah, potentially. We're going through chickens quicker than clean water. Send a few caps our way at support.ballmove.com and get ad-free podcasts in return. You're back for more cousin stuff, aren't you? Welcome back to Fallout Boys.
I want to talk about some other fun stuff, and it is the guest casting. the guest star casting, the new people that we're seeing. Who are you? There's 3 that I clocked. Which of them are you most excited to see?
3? Huh. The one that stands out to me the most is Kumail Nanjiani, who, I mean, he's got a very distinctive appearance. You notice him immediately. I get the impression that he's some big swinging dick in the Brotherhood. He's there to quash some kind of civil war that's brewing. I don't know exactly what that means, because we get Dane back, which is interesting.
Right.
Yeah, they're going to be potentially a wrinkle in the Brotherhood that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, and I got the idea that like Kumal is some kind of real, like you said, swinging dick. Like he looks like a Chad. You know, he's completely changed his body to be a Marvel superhero. And now he's stuck with this, and he's got the bomber jacket and the perfect hair, and it's a very contrasting to like the more priestly order of the Brotherhood that we've seen. But maybe it's a competing faction that just allies with the Brotherhood. But he's exciting. The other one is
potentially
Justin Theroux shows up in a black and white monitor confronting Cooper, and maybe the idea that he's the CEO of Vault Tech. Justin Theroux, if you don't know why I'd be excited about that, is the star of Fallout, or not Fallout, the Leftovers.
He is now.
Following the Leftovers, Fallout. That's a title designed to trip up my tongue and brain. He's great. He's great in everything I've seen him in. And then finally, I guess you didn't clock this, Macaulay Culkin, the star of Home Alone,
right? Of course,
is playing some post-apocalyptic weirdo, which is kind of right up his alley if you've kept up with him.
He is a post-apocalyptic weirdo. That's awesome.
A little bit. There is a wedding. There's a big party happening at one of the vaults.
32, I think. Those are the people who went.
Yeah, and is Stephanie getting married? I think it was her in the wedding dress. She's getting married to Chet to make it all official, I guess.
Makes sense.
I also wonder if that could be, when you see this strange wild partying, could that also be the management vault? You know, that they're having no rules conga parties and no resources. That's one of
31.
If it's not 32, it's got to be that.
It's interesting, I guess, from the Chet of it all, because he's knowingly walking into this with his eyes open, realizing things are amiss here, and going along with it because he's a coward. And like he says, all of us are cowards. That's why we live in a vault. I think that's maybe the most interesting angle of all this. Is Norm going to be able to communicate with him in Vault 32 and kind of get him to switch sides again? Would maybe some hints that Lucy is out there and still alive cause disruptions in his perfect life that's happening now? That's all. I don't know why I'm so interested in that part of it, but Chet is this like fantastically weird and like compelling character, even though he's just like this nothing of a smooth boy. I don't know, man. He's so fun to watch.
I feel like I can relate to Chet. He's just trying to get, he's trying to fail upwards in the vault.
Sure.
He had the vault keeper, and he's got a sexual relationship with the hottest gal in the vault. Too bad she's his cousin. Then all that stuff goes away. But then he gets another hot gal, but she's got a child from another. And then there's the whole Vault 32 spookiness, and she's their interim overseer. It's really, that's going to be interesting. And also Norm, speaking of Chad, I feel like Norm is getting Chadified a bit. Did you see him like stripped down to his white tank top, and he's got his shoulders kind of filled? I don't know. Has he been busting rocks or something? Has he been lifting cans of tuna? What business is he getting up to in 31? Because
Yeah, maybe there's a gym in 31 that he's been hitting. I don't know.
Yeah. There's a lot of other really cool Fallout stuff, like when Thaddeus is having this conversation with, it looks like Maximus, about finding good people in the wasteland. He said, I've seen a lot of stuff out there, and you see Ghoul Elvis, you see this really cool Rad Scorpion, which probably going to give me a nightmare. His shoulder mouth. You see the ill-fated chicken fucker getting eaten by rad roaches. I don't know if that's actually going to do him in. But that just makes Maximus think about Lucy and wanting to get back to her. Mm-hmm. And then the other one, that again, I'm not a big Fallout lore guy, but I saw that lots of fans got excited about the reveal of what I think is called a Death Claw, which is one of the iconic late game enemies of Fallout. Looks like that somebody in a power suit's wrestling with one.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't particularly excite me, other than to say I do like the creatures that they come up with on this show.
Yeah.
Like the Gulper is fantastic. I'm hoping that this Death Claw will be just as cool, but we'll see.
The other thing I thought was, I couldn't figure out quite what it was, is there's these columns that are rising out of the desert sand or the wasteland sand that Maximus and Lucy are. And I wonder if those are missile silos, if those are...
Well, did you see what's sitting kind of on the ground there? Because there are two figures walking around in what look like, to me, spacesuits. They could be decontamination suit, whatever. But there's a rocket ship looking thing sitting on the ground right next to them. Is that like a 50s funky, like a very Fallout rocket ship? It's not like...
What's what I'm saying? Like, is that just like a red rocket decoration, like the retro future? And
potentially.
Then contrast with these are real rock. I didn't even think about them being
it's
real
silhouetted,
rockets.
so you can't tell.
They are like missile silos or something. But because we know at some point that someone's got to have control of nukes still because of Shady Sands, which...
Yeah, Hank does, or did.
Yeah, which we find out in episode 7 is the shithole. Shady Sands is the shithole. But that's the thing. It's like, yeah, that looks pretty exciting. I don't know how much of... I imagine... So my expectations are going to get a lot more into the mystery of Vault 31. I'm expecting that they complicate the issue with Lucy's father. Like, they give him some kind of thing that, is maybe a plausible morality that, Lucy could maybe understand. Yeah,
and we see some flashbacks to some experiments he's performing in, just a suit and a tie, which I assume is hundreds of years ago. Right.
Exploding rats. Mm-hmm. And... yeah, it'll be interesting that they're going to do that, and I imagine figure out they have to probably they've revealed enough about Shady Sands that it's probably time for another kind of like reset reveal about that. Moldaver, how she went from Miss Williams to Moldaver.
Yep.
But yet leave enough mystery for ongoing seasons. Because that's the other thing. It's like when I was looking at this party vault, I'm like, oh, is it Vault 31 or is there Vault? It could be another vault that we don't even know about. Like, I had no idea we'd run into Vault 4 in season 1. So that's a big Fallout thing, running into other vaults, seeing what other experiments. Now it seems like they'd have to, because now that Lucy knows that there is this perception from other vaults that every vault is some kind of weird experiment, that if she does find another one, she's going to want to know, what's your deal? Or maybe she thinks that's an aberration and they're the one unfortunate vault that got worked over.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting because like she doesn't have the full backstory from her father. We know actually more about the vault's disposition than Lucy does, even at the end of this season. So I like her vault is an experiment too. I guess she just doesn't realize it yet. Right. But she'll have to, as she's confronted with the true story of Vault-Tec and what they did.
And I don't think we've theorized on it. It's like, is this an experiment to like breed the perfect consumer class and the perfect ruling class so that you've got something to repopulate the earth from the perfect earth from a CEO's perspective? Like, got the perfect obedient, brainwashed consumer, and we've got the perfect ruthless, pragmatic CEOs that we've bred up here. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if Vault 33, like we've talked about, maybe it's the one vault that's not. It's like not quite a control, but it's like this is where the real muckety mucks go, right? Like Hank, he's
this is the good
like
vault. Yeah.
This is like the good vault, and it would make a lot of sense narratively for those chickens to come home to roost. Literally in Vault 33 here, with like Cooper's wife being in 31 frozen, and he tracks her there, and he's coming back to lay waste to all of Lucy's people, and Lucy can't let that happen because they're not all bad people. Like there's a lot of really good dramatic stuff that could happen if it turns out they all have to come back to 33 for different reasons, opposing reasons. So
I agree. I think that's going to be really interesting. Is there any other thing that you wanted to call out from the trailer?
I think that's about it.
Yeah, I've got all my good stuff out. It looks amazing. It looks funny. I'm looking forward to seeing more Thaddeus, because I kind of grew attached to him at the end of this season. I figured you're not going to ghoulify somebody just to write him off forever. But yeah, very interesting. Just a very short wait, 4 more weeks, December 17th. We are going to continue our season 1 coverage right up until the threshold. We'll do a special kind of review of season 1 and preview of season 2 and feedback episode in the week between, and then we get right into Fallout. I can't wait. I hope you are enjoying our rewatch of season 1 of Fallout and are looking forward to join us in season 2. Yeah, if you're looking for season 7 or episode 7, it'll be out in a couple days. So fallout@baldmove.com. If you got any comments on the trailer, or you got some, especially if you're a Fallout grizzled veteran and you notice some things that we didn't, let us know. And if you want to get ready with the club, you get full access to our community, ad-free feeds, bonus audio. Check out support.baldmove.com. All right, that's going to be it for our special emergency trailer episode. Until episode 7, I'm your host, A.Ron.
And I'm Jim.
See ya.
We're going down.